Hi, St. Peter's friends. It's Amy and Fiona again. Say hi, Fiona. Say hi.
Hi.
So, we're on the 7th of November. Today's story is from Mark 12, verses 41 to 44. Jesus sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums. A poor widow came and put in 2 copper coins, which are worth a penny. Then he called his disciples and said to them, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the treasury. For all of them have contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." So this story tells us how important it is to be generous, no matter how much we have. We can be generous with money, material goods, but we can also be generous with our time and our attention and our love. Generosity is a way of thinking that brings us out of our own concerns and allows us to pay attention to the needs of those around us. Right, Vee? The story also shows that many people like to give when people are watching, so they are seen as good people. There was no paper money or credit cards in Jesus' time, so everyone used coins to donate. When the rich people put their money into the box, everyone could hear the sound of all the larger coins. It was the larger coins clanging and could tell that they were giving a lot. When the widow put her coins in, it was obvious that she wasn't able to give very much. But Jesus wanted people not to pay attention to the amount given, but to the intention behind the giving. I remember when I was a brownie, the leaders talked about how important it was to do good deeds in secret. We were to practice being generous without looking for the reward of someone thanking us. This idea was based on a story that explains how the brownies got their name, and it's by Juliana Horatia Ewing. And here's the story. The cottage on the edge of the wood was in an awful mess. There were dishes to be washed, clothes to be ironed, and toys scattered all over the floor. Tommy and Betty didn't care. They hated boring old housework. "What am I going to do?" their mother sighed. "I can't keep the cottage tidy. If only we had a brownie." "What's a brownie?" asked Tommy. A brownie is a magical little creature which slips into the houses very early before everyone is awake. It tidies, irons clothes, washes dishes, and does all sorts of helpful things in secret, replied his mother. "That's great. How can we get one?" wondered Betty. "The wise old owl in the wood would know, I suppose," her mother said. Late that night, Tommy and Betty crept out of the cottage into the wood. It was cold and dark and full of shadows. Or were they ghosts? "We can't go back. We've got to find the wise owl," said Betty firmly. "Twit-twoo! How do you do?" A voice hooted at them from the nearby tree. "The wise owl!" Tommy hugged Betty in relief. And soon the children were seated on a branch, snuggling close to the big bird's feathers. They explained they were looking for a brownie. "Do you know how we could find one?" asked Betty. "Indeed I do," hooted the owl. And placing her beak close to Betty's ear, she explained. "Tommy, imagine!" exclaimed Betty. "There's a brownie in that pool over there. I've got to go to the pool, and I've got to turn around 3 times and say, 'Twist me and turn me and show me the elf.' I looked in the water and there saw..." "Hoo, hoo, hoo," hooted the owl. "Look into the water and you'll find your brownie looking back at you. Her name will finish the rhyme." The children raced over to the pool. Betty did exactly as the owl had said. "Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. I looked in the water and there saw..." She looked into the pool. "Well, can you see it? Can you see a brownie?" yelled Tommy, hopping from foot to foot in excitement. No, said Betty. All I can see is my reflection. Tommy and Betty were so tired and disappointed that by the time they reached the tree again, they were in tears. Boo-hoo-hoo! What's the matter with you two? Hooted the owl, offering them a hanky. We didn't find a brownie, sniffed Betty. I saw no one in the water but myself. Myself. Well, well, said the owl. Let's see if it fits the rhyme. Twist me and turn me and show me the elf. I looked in the water and there saw my self. Myself, finished Betty, but I'm not a brownie. Too true, hooted the owl, but you could act like one for a change, and so could Tommy. That's right, it would be fun. Tommy and Betty returned thoughtfully to the cottage. If you had passed that way very early the next morning, you would have seen a lamp burning in the kitchen window and two figures busily scurrying about inside. When the children's mother came down for breakfast, she couldn't believe her eyes. There wasn't a toy in sight. Everything was clean and tidy. Why, a brownie has been here. How wonderful, she gasped. From that day to this, the cottage has been a different place. And Tommy and Betty have been like different children. They never get bored now. They are too busy planning their secret good turns. Of course, their mother has discovered the truth. She thinks she is very lucky to have such helpful children. And Tommy and Betty have discovered how right the wise old owl was. Being human brownies is fun. And that's the end of our story. Did you like it, Fiona? Did you like the story? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. This story talks about housework, but we could expand this idea to doing helpful things and being generous in all parts of our lives without expecting a reward. And our micro practice for today is talking about generosity. It reminds us of the jingling coins in our Bible story. Can you jingle these coins for me? Jingle, jingle. Shake it. Every time you hear change jingling, maybe you'll shake your piggy bank or jingle some coins in your pocket. Think of how you could be more generous in your life. Let's have a prayer before we go. Put your hands together, Fee. Dear God, thank you. You are kind, generous, and always looking out for those who need help. Fill our hearts with love for everyone around us and help us share what we have so that all may thrive. Amen.